I swam and played baseball from the time I was 5 years old, and a bunch of my club swim team teammates were actually coming on a trip to Austin for a swim camp. I was playing NCAA baseball like 2006 after they won the national championship. My favorite color was burnt orange already for some reason. My room was burnt orange. So I already had UT sort of in the back of my mind, kind of in my heart. I remember going home after the camp and my parents were all fired up because they thought, you know, we're gonna send him to this camp. He's gonna be, you know, super motivated to get a college scholarship for swimming. And I came back and I literally told my dad, I'm going to UT. And he's like, oh, that's perfect. Like, we're gonna sign you up for all these, you know, morning swimming practices or whatever. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna swim. I'm gonna play baseball.
Fast forward to high school, Andy McGuire made the varsity team as a freshman and colleges started calling. He came to Texas in the fall of 2013 as a top 100 national recruit and made 19 starts at third base at the beginning of his freshman season. But by mid-March, McGuire's batting average dropped to 119, and he only played in 3 games the rest of the year.
My first full season was a roller coaster, but I think it was just the beginning of an even bigger roller coaster that I was going to go through. At the end of my freshman season, I wasn't playing. Going into my sophomore year, I was a pitcher. I pitched 15 innings my sophomore season. I didn't have any at-bats. I was pretty frustrated about that, but at the same time, I was happy to go out on the field and do my part regardless. There was some frustration, and I was sort of thinking, you know, I don't know if they want me here.
McGuire's love for Texas and for baseball were at crossroads. After the 2015 season on a road trip with his dad, he weighed his options. We
talked the whole drive home about the season that had just happened and where to go from there. I brought up transferring. I didn't want to make the decision. I knew that it was a decision that I was going to have to make, whether it be stay here and try to work my way back into the lineup somehow or go another, direction and see what happens.
McGuire enrolled at the University of South Carolina, Aiken in August of 2015, where he only went to 1 practice.
I got to USC Aiken, moved in to my place, met my roommates, met the coaches, and quickly realized that, I was definitely not in the right place. If I stayed there, I think that it would have taken a tremendous toll on me mentally and emotionally. I think it would have been a disaster. I couldn't sleep. I spent hours on the phone with people that I trusted, just relaying how I felt, and the consensus was that I just needed to do what was on my heart, and that was 100% come back to Texas, whether that meant playing or not.
2 weeks later, McGuire re-enrolled at Texas. He was back in Austin, but due to transfer rules, he couldn't even try out for the team. As a Texas Cowboy, he would watch his friends on the diamond from left field, right next to Smokey the Cannon.
It wasn't fun. Knowing what it's like to be in the dugout and then watching games, you're trying to watch all your friends play well and you're rooting for them. I felt like a ghost. I felt like I was watching, from the sky. I, would stand out there in left field and shoot the cannon off every time we scored runs. Watching big wins, watching guys do well, and knowing kind of how it is on the field in those certain situations was tough for me. I came up to the field at night and hit. I threw. I would take batting practice at local high schools. I did whatever I could to sort of pass time and make sure that I was prepared for any sort of situation that would come my way.
Today is a great day as we introduce you to the 13th head coach of Texas Longhorn Baseball, Coach David Pierce.
I actually met him through Morgan Cooper, Zane Gerwitz. A couple of guys came in my office when I first got here and said, hey, we have this player that was with us before, he's had a rough time at it. He wants to come back out and play. And at that time, I hardly knew them. And they were vouching for a former player, and it's fall and he's already on campus. So I asked them to contact him, tell him to come see me.
I went into the fall ball knowing that it was going to be hard for me numbers-wise. At the end of the fall, Coach Pierce basically said, you did everything we asked, we love you, but we don't have any room. It was tough kind of being like, all right, well, here I go again, not really knowing what's going on.
At that point, I didn't know if I'd ever see Andy back with us. He went out and played summer ball, and he called me, and he said, Coach, I'm working really hard. I'm having a very good season. I just want you to know I want to come out again. So you're more than welcome.
I basically went into this fall thinking I'm 100% the type of player that needs to be playing at the University of Texas. I'm gonna play well enough to where they can't let me go.
I remember just telling him, you made this team. Just received that great smile that he has.
The 3-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. McGuire kicks and deals. The 1-2 pitch. Strike three called. Got him looking. Excellent pitch by McGuire. Here's the 1-0 to McGuire. Swings here and drives one out towards center to the deepest part of the park. And you can say goodnight to it. Andy McGuire has homered.
You look at a young man like Andy that came to the place that he wanted to be at and failed and literally went somewhere else and still realized that this is the place he wants to be. For him to have the success after that just kind of states what a true Texas Longhorn baseball player is about.
I hope that when people think about me, they truly do see an ambassador for the University of Texas baseball team. I take a lot of pride in being able to play for this school. It's bigger than me, and at the end of the day, I'm just glad to be here, so.